Hey everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally doing my first Discover University build. I am so excited. I tried recording some university videos beforehand. One where I kind of went and overviewed the world and the build and buy, but I feel like I didn't really have anything that unique to say that other people hadn't said already, so I was like, no, I didn't really see a point in it. And then I had another one that I'm still editing, and I don't know if I'll upload, where I kind of talk about how this pack interacts with other packs, specifically kind of like relating it to cross-pack compatibility, as some YouTubers and other sim players call it. That one I'm still kind of on the fence about. I might just re-record it also, who knows. Anyways, but I did finally get in and started doing some gameplay. I'm really enjoying it so far. I do enjoy that you have to actually wait to find out if you've been accepted to university. I was a little worried that it was going to be very quick or something, I don't know. And I'm a little like annoyed by how long it's taking, but I feel like that's a good thing because I feel like that's how like applying to university works. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. I actually haven't gotten to university yet. I haven't been declined or accepted, still waiting. Sadly, I haven't. This past weekend I've been a little busy, had some family come over and stuff, so worst weekend for them to come over, in my opinion, because I just wanted to sit around and just play The Sims. I think also I've just been so tired lately. I'm getting a little sick, as well as I've just been so like busy at work that this past weekend I just wanted to lay in bed the entire time, and like not even play The Sims. But was definitely excited to finally get into it a little. As well as I started to play around with some of the housing menus and stuff, or housing options. A few weeks ago I did make the Omega Beta Zeta sorority house from Scream 2 with both like anticipation of this pack as well as kind of like celebrating Halloween a little. Sorry. And I went in and I actually was playing around with the options and was seeing how I can make it into a sorority house. So like there is a way, because of how the housing is set up, you can pretty much create your own sorority in the club system from Get Together. I think you might be able to also with the new university kind of club system, organization system, but since I haven't been accepted to university yet, I haven't been able to play around with that. But I did notice there was an option where you can, when you're building like a on-campus housing, and it could be opened to only a select few, that being maybe people in certain groups. You can make it a gendered housing, and that's what I did. I made it into a female housing only, for certain ages, as well as I did go, I haven't done it yet. Once they get in, I'm going to change the housing type for Omega Beta Zeta only, and I've created some Sims to live in there. It's really fun. So I created Sydney Prescott and Hallie McDaniel from Scream 2, as well as I also went in and created Chanel Oberon and Chanel number 3 and 5 from Scream Queens. If you never watched Scream Queens, that was a hot mess of a show, but like a great kind of hot mess. It was so funny, and just so good. But I thought it'd be funny to create them and have them live in there, just because they're also kind of from like a horror genre-esque kind of college, if you will. I'm thinking I might put them in my save file because I just think that might be funny. My save file, I have like a few little nods here and there to some things, so I'm kind of like, why not? Anyways, on to this build though. This is a on-campus build for Brychester University. I haven't really done too much for Foxbury Institute. I do want to go and make a Foxbury Institute house as well work on their kind of dorms and stuff. But I really just wanted to build another kind of off-campus like sorority kind of house, but it's not. It's really just more like another housing hall. I did make it a college university housing, so technically, so it can't have a stove, which is a little annoying. But you just gotta play with EA's rules sometimes. But yeah, so there isn't because I did that for two reasons. One, because I wanted this housing to be not as intense, if that makes sense. With the rules, pretty much you just have to go to Brychester. There's no age requirement, so you could definitely be like an elder living here who's going to Brychester. There's no like specific kind of like sorority housing here. I was really just thinking it was like another dorm room or another housing unit. I was basing off some photos I saw online. I didn't really want to make a Victorian. I actually was trying to copy the style around the school, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it a Victorian. I did try to make it match the aesthetic though a little more, so maybe like after the school, in the 19th century, there were some or my idea for it, if you download off the gallery, it says that some donors lived here in the Victorian era. And then once the like last heir of the family passed away, they left it in their will that this was to become university housing. So it's kind of like this old home that's been converted. The reason I did that was because this lot originally, the housing here, there was like I said, rumored that the founder of the university used to live here. So I was trying to keep like that idea alive. Here I was kind of playing with the doors because I like that door I have there, but I don't really like it on this build. I don't end up switching it though. I don't know, I like some of the other doors more, but I feel like that was really the only one that really fit. I kind of go around and like reshaping some things, switching out windows and stuff a lot in this build. Up here I originally wanted this porch to be accessible, but I was like, you know what, it's just a decorative porch, no one's coming out here. But I am pretty happy with this build. I think I did a good job at making it in my own style while having it kind of replicate the aesthetics of Brychester as a town and university. Even though also the kitchen doesn't have an oven, I did try my best to really just make it look like a full kitchen. Because here's the thing, you can also download this off the gallery and switch it to a residence lot and have your Sims move in, and you can use the new roommate system. The reason I didn't do that is because I really only wanted college students to live with it. I think maybe within the new roommate system you can maybe play around with it and maybe be only accept roommates that go to your school or who are also in college, but I just didn't want to risk it. I liked it more just as another housing unit. And this ends up being only base game and university. I was playing with some Realm of Magic windows there a second ago, and I think they would fit, but only if you use the windows from university in the right swatch. And that's the only issue I've noticed with the Realm of Magic windows, as much as I love them, is they sometimes are just almost compatible. Those two tall windows I have there on the first and second floor, I end up getting rid of that. I just wanted to play around with that because that's as close as I'm going to get to my two-story windows that I really wanted with this pack. We saw them in the trailer, and you do see them on some of the buildings your Sims go to class into, but you can't really, there's no build mode for it, so, which is a little upsetting, but you make do with what you can. A part of me kind of had a feeling we weren't going to get those two-story windows, as well as the rose window that you can see on campus, as much as I wanted them. I had a feeling we probably weren't going to get them, but I was holding out for hope, and we didn't. Maybe the Sims team in the future will give us a rose window and some 2-story gothic windows. I don't know. This would have been the best pack for it, but I don't know. Maybe they'll do a Victorian stuff pack. They won't, but I don't know. I can dream. This pack I really did, or this build I had a lot of fun with. I think this pack overall has some really great items. There's a lot of items too. I definitely feel as though I did want to mix this a lot with the stuff we got from Get Together, but for this build I decided not to. Maybe in my save file I'll go back and add some things, but definitely the next housing I make in this world I'm gonna include Get Together. I think Get Together pairs so well with this pack. When I first got Get Together, the first thing I thought was, wow, this kind of like feels like a university pack in some ways, because we got the foosball table, we got the dartboard, all the bar stuff we got, and like all the flags. It just felt very like much like a university kind of world to me. And maybe that has to do with like my concept of university towns in America. At least a lot of them seem to feel very like European in some ways, so maybe that's why. Who knows? But anyways, this build, it ends up having 4 bedrooms, 3 on the second floor and 1 in that top floor up in the tower. Each room has 2 beds in it, so if you live here, if you move your sim in, they will have a roommate. When I was taking my screenshots, I noticed that there were some townies and pre-made sims and some like, you know, just NPCs like already moving in, so like that's really exciting. Each room also has a fireplace, because since I didn't use seasons in building this, I was like, okay, how am I going to keep it warm? Because I have seasons in my game, and I'm assuming many people also do. I was like, you know what, it is an old Victorian home, and it's not uncommon for a lot of Victorian homes, especially really older ones, to have fireplaces in all the rooms, because, you know, there wasn't central heating yet. So that's definitely what I did. I was like, you know what, they're all just going to get their own fireplace. Here I was playing with the stairs a bit. I was thinking about the stairs I did for my Omega Beta Zeta build. I was like, can I do the same thing? But no, I end up really playing around with the stairs, and I end up feeling happy about what I did do. But yeah, I mess around a lot and do a lot of bad decisions at the beginning. But yeah, speaking of my Omega Beta Zeta build, I'm keeping it in Newcrest as of right now. There are no lots that are big enough to fit it in this world, sadly. Well, there are some, but I don't want to get rid of the library for like student housing, like no. So sadly, I couldn't fit it in this world. I did put it in Newcrest, and I'm redoing all of Newcrest right now, because I'm realizing a lot of my builds I did in there I'm just not super happy with, and I decided to keep that in it. And I'm also going to be doing a build for a fraternity house for the Foxbury Institute. So in that way, I guess in my save file, I guess you could say, I'm kind of thinking Newcrest being fairly close to Brightchester, but also in my concept of The Sims 4, how the world, in like the Sims worlds in general, is that they're not that far apart from each other. You know, just that you can travel, like, when you travel to them, not a lot of time passes anyway, so I'm like, yeah, they're pretty close to each other, all these worlds. So I'm definitely fine with that, even if Newcrest is an interesting world. The way they built it, there seems to be a lot of, I don't want to say mismatching, but there's a lot of different architectural things going on in the non-playable houses you see in the background, the pre-made kind of environmental things, as well as there's a lot of like different tree types. And I think what it was is they're trying to be like, look, it can be almost anything you want it to be. So So I've decided, I guess it's a college town. um, but yeah, this home, even though it's a lot smaller than I probably would have wanted to be, I'm pretty happy with it. The floor plan does get a little wonky, but I think that had to do with because of the shape of the house was a little wonky too. But I am pretty happy with it. You can download it off the gallery. My username is Jaymehorne, Jaymehorne, one word, no space, no underscore, just Jaymehorne. You'll find this on there. I feel like there's a lot of fun quirky things about this house too. Like I put, I guess not really quirky, but they match with university. There's a keg out front. There's a pong table downstairs. So you can also, there's some studying. There's a library here where your Sims can come study, as well as there's one of those research machines. So I did try to make this home pretty, like, if you're gonna live here, it'll be kind of useful for you. I really just didn't want to make a useless home. I don't know, in the past I've made some homes that just, there aren't a lot of skill building things inside of them. So I was like, okay, I want some skill building here, as well as I want pretty much a reason for your Sims to be here other than just to sleep. So I'm pretty happy about that. Anyways, I'm going to be wrapping up my voiceover about now. So like I said, go check it out on the gallery, check out some other things, and hopefully soon I'll be getting you some other speed builds and content for Discover University. I do have a Let's Play I'm thinking of. It probably won't be out for a little bit. At that point, Discover University might be irrelevant, but I'm excited for it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.